All right, problem number 8. It wants us to consider the cost function, find the average cost and marginal cost functions, determine the average and marginal cost when x equals a, and interpret the values obtained in part B. All right, so I've opened up the textbook just to kind of go back and show you, because during the overview we just kind of skimmed that information. So it might be better to make it full screen as well. All right, so this is going to be section 3.9. We want to go to 3.6. Okay. In 3.6, again, we're talking about derivative as rate of change. And we are looking at the cost function application. So I just want to point you to that definition. Economics and business. Okay, so here's the definition. So cost function is defined C of x. So we'll have some function. It gives you the cost to produce the first X items in a manufacturing process. The average cost to produce X items is you just take the cost function and divide by how many items you produce, which is what we do for average. Take the total, divide by how many you use. The marginal cost is the derivative of the cost function. It says it is the approximate cost to produce one additional item after you have produced X items. Okay, so these are the things we need. I'm going to go back to our homework and we'll just do that. So here again, they give us a cost function. Cx is equal to 1100 divided by 0.4x. This is from 0 to 5,000 units, and we're looking at A equals 2,400. Okay, so our cost function is pretty much given. Okay, not 0.04, just 0.4. Okay, 0.4 or 0.4x. All right, we need to find the average cost and the marginal cost. So the average cost is taking the cost function, was denoted as C bar, and that is 1100 plus 0.4 divided by x. Now you could simplify this and just say, either way you're going to have a fraction. I would just leave it in this form. Divide each one by x. And then when the x divides out, you'll just be left with 1100 over x plus 0.4. And if we were to just take the derivative, that would give us the marginal function, c prime of x. Okay, derivative of a constant is 0. Derivative of this, we would multiply by 1, and that would just leave us 0.4x. Okay, so this is the first part. So I would probably just leave it like this. Then once you simplify, you can go all the way down. Usually you simplify, you don't have a fraction. This is a 0.4. My little decimal is hard to see. But usually, if it's a fraction, I just leave it. So we're going to say 11 plus 0.4x divided by x. All right. The marginal cost function, that's going to be just the x is gone. Whenever we do the derivative, I'm looking at this, that x is 1 multiplied by 1 and it goes away. So it's just 0.4 is the marginal cost. I'm looking at that as a typo. 0.4. All right, so now we want to find the average cost when 2,400 units are produced. So it's going to take this function. Now in this case, I'll probably use the simplified version. So average, when we plug in 2,400, that would be 11, 24. So 11 over 24, we'll get that as a decimal. I think I have an online calculator open. Let's make it easy. And then pick up the 11. Okay, we're getting too much. Let me just type it in. 11 divided by 24. All right, so to 2 decimal places, we get about 0.46 plus 40. So that's going to give us, let's just say approximately 0.46, add 0.4. It's going to give us about 0.86. So our average cost for producing 2,400 units is about 0.86. And we do one around the 2 decimal places. All right, so the marginal cost when 24 units are produced. So the marginal cost is going to go back to this rate of change. So the marginal cost is about 40 cents for an additional unit. Just our rate of change, that's what we're looking for. Marginal cost, derivative is the rate of change, that's what we're looking at. All right, so the average cost per item is about 0.86 when 24 items or 2,400 items are made. And when we make the very next item, the marginal cost of producing one more item is just this 0.4. So it's just saying each item costs this much, but the average will change. It'll go down each item that you make, the average cost that is. So just 0.4.